have found the Genesis frequency. This is Dr. Stephen J. Kosmyna welcoming you in to another episode of a show that focuses on your whole life prosperity and success. Whole life prosperity and success by cooperating with the universal laws that are available to each and every one of us. This is Quantum Leap Goal Achievement, radical personal transformation, whole life prosperity and success. Now, stay tuned for another exciting episode that'll move the needle in your life from where you are now to where you want to be.
And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day it may be for you, wherever you are when you hit the play button. Oh boy, having too much fun here already. Hello, 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 hello. This is Dr. Cause and Effect, Dr. Stephen J. Kosmyna coming at you with another episode here of the Genesis frequency, all about personal development, professional development, leadership development, executive development, spiritual development, leaders, all of it. All of it. What works, sharing with you what works, sharing with you elements of the certain way that will assure you of success. This is part two of developing your own daily steps for success. So we're going to take a dive right in. I can't believe I just shared, I think it was five steps last week. I'll review those real quick. Can't believe how fast the time went by when we were getting into those. But this is all about really as you chunk everything down. And when I work with people, they connect with me and get their own success planner. We talked about that extensively last week. The handwritten, write down your plan for success, that kind of thing. Digital calendars are great. Keep track of appointments. I use one. I use a couple of them, as a matter of fact. But I also use a physical paper planner, a success planner, a goal planning system. And that's something you can reach out and you can get your own. And everybody that does that through the show, when you pick up a goal planning system, so you're not just lost and left alone. What do I do with all this? I do a goal setting workshop and a planning workshop where you learn how to use all the tools within the goal planning system. So reach out to me if that's something that you're interested in. Just had a bunch of people because I pushed it hard a couple episodes ago, and people got that and are enjoying their quantum leap goal achievement right now since they have a way to organize and put in order their plan. We got to have a plan, right? So we've been talking about that extensively really since the beginning. Oh, I want to say beginning of this year, but going back, we've always talked about order and about having a plan and about not changing the goal, maybe altering or tweaking the plan. But we got to give our plan a chance. And our plan is something that will get us from point A all the way to our big dream goal, right? So we've been talking about we have that big dream goal. We've done the work. We've identified the why. We know what it is. We've crystallized our thinking. We've got some clarity. And then we chunked it down. We don't know how. We don't know the how of everything, how it will come to fruition. In fact, a lot of that is none of our business. It just is going to drop in along the way as we become this success machine. But we start planning, we start doing, we start taking actions, we start applying. We identify what we know we can do, what we should do, what we could do, and if we did do it, we know it's going to move us closer to that big dream goal. So we've chunked it all down, right? Got the big dream goal. I know that if I do this quarter, I will be so much closer. And in order to get that quarterly goal, I have to do this every month. And in order to hit that monthly goal, I have to do this every week. And in order to hit that weekly goal, I have to do these things every day. And in order to hit the daily goal, I have to do this in the morning and this in the afternoon. In order to get this done in the morning and get this done in the afternoon, I have to do this hour and then this the next hour, and we just keep chunking it down. We just keep breaking it down. It's simple that way. It's much simpler to look at, and it's orderly. Everything has its place. So then to further that, we have our plan for our specific goal, but what's our really daily MO, method of operation? What is our daily success plan? What are the things that are non-negotiable that we have to do, participate in every single day in order to knock these things out, in order to be successful? So part one was last week, last episode. And in part one, and I'll just recap that real quick because I want to share another activity list. I shared from what I use as a franchisee of Leadership Management International. My company, Success Ocean International, is a franchisee of Leadership Management International. Global company, been around. We're celebrating 65 years this week in over 100 countries, 27 different languages. Really proud to be a franchisee. Uh, just did the leadership convention in San Antonio, and oh my God, more about that moving forward. But the success plan for my LMI activity looks like this. And it's in last week's episode in case you missed it. And again, what I suggested is I'm sharing a couple daily success plans that I've utilized in my life and or I'm currently utilizing, and encouraging you to take elements from these and maybe put some of your own things in there and develop your own daily activities for success plan. You're non-negotiable. I'm doing this every day, and I will knock out my daily chunk down goals. So last week we talked about crystallizing your thinking. Number two, developing a plan for achieving your goal and a deadline for its attainment. Developing a sincere desire for what you want, developing supreme confidence in yourself and your own abilities, develop a dogged determination to follow through on your plan, regardless of obstacles, criticism, or circumstances, or what other people say, think, or do. That's really a personal success plan, right? That's my plan. It's got to be all these things. So then we take elements of that. What am I doing every day? And I want to do these things every day. I made this success plan my daily plan. I want to crystallize my thinking. And how do I do that? I'm visualizing it every day, right? And part of my plan, developing my plan, is I'm affirming it. I'm repeating and writing out and stating out loud affirmative statements, present tense statements of my goal realized. I am so happy and grateful now that I am fill in the blanks. So and the desire should be there. That's going to, that's found in our whys, why we want what we want, and that drives us forward. That's our motivation and helps us to sustain that zeal and enthusiasm. All right, so here's another list if we want to get a little bit more specific, and I encourage you to take elements from these and build your own, build what works for you, for your either your industry specific goal or what you want and your chunk down version of what you go to work on every single day. So what is really important to me, and I'm going to share 6 more points here and use what works again. Plan out your business activity, your professional activity, and you can adapt this if you're working on personal activity. Maybe you're retired, but you still want to knock out some things, and you know, maybe you identified some things you really want to experience in your life. Doesn't matter. So, for me, they might sound a little bit different, but just know that maybe you got to adapt these and tweak them a little bit. But these non-negotiable things are what moves me and gets me to where I want to be at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, at the end of the quarter, at the end of the year, to that big dream goal, right? So, because success is really a recipe, all right? And it's following the steps, step by step, but one foot in front of the other. So, I want to make sure that number one, I'm focusing on income producing activity. I want to participate in productive activity. Maybe you're not generating income yourself for your company and your professional position, or maybe you're on a different path, but you want your activity to be productive, meaning that what you are engaged in, the activity that you are engaged in on a daily basis, is contributing to the realization of your goal and contributing to moving closer to the realized goal. In this case, I'm talking about income producing activity because, let's face it, I do a lot of what we would call sales and meeting with people and talking about the benefits and the solutions, the programs that I facilitate will have, the problems that they will solve for the individual, for the small business, for the corporation. So I want to focus on income producing activity. And that can be placing advertisements, calling potential business owners, calling executive decision makers, talking to people, talking to people of influence that can refer me to people, participating in anything that's going to produce income for me, okay, or produce activity that is going to lead to sales and income producing activity, producing income. All right, number two, I want to visualize daily. I want to take, this has to be non-negotiable for you, I think, in my humble opinion. But we want to visualize that goal, that dream, that aspiration, that desire on a daily basis. That's going to fuel and feed the desire that in turn keeps the enthusiasm and the flames of zeal burning in us, right? Because to really be effective, to make a quantum leap when it comes to goal achievement, we have to energetically move into it. Our goal, our dream is already real. If you've done this work, especially with me, you have detailed it out. You've got very specific. And maybe you're not attached to the specificity, but you have a very clear picture of what it looks like. And what is ours to do is move into it energetically, not as if we're watching a movie of someone else, but we're in there. We're in that vision. We're living that life. So we're visualizing it real. We're seeing it real using the power of our imagination, seeing it on the screen of our mind on a daily basis. So, number one, income producing activity. Number two, daily visualization, focusing on your goals. And I would set aside some time too. If you're using my success system and the success planner, my time success planner, you're scheduling this in. You're not, this isn't about, when am I going to have time to do all that? You schedule time. This is critical. This isn't something that's airy fairy. Well, if you get time, maybe you'll spend a little bit of time today doing that. And if I get time later in the week, I might be able to squeeze that in. This isn't about that. This is part of your success system. Focus on income producing activity, daily visualization, and number three, spend time on personal development. Listen to my podcast, listen to other podcasts. Maybe you have a program that you can take yourself through. Maybe you've enrolled in one of my programs. Don't approach any of that as, okay, I'm doing my homework, closing the book, and I'm all done. You always want to look for what you can apply and take action on in your life, right? So you want to focus, schedule 20 to 30 minutes a day. That's why I keep these at about 20 plus minutes a day. Now, listen, I've been doing this show for 7 years, and I got just about 350 episodes out there. And I think they're all very good. You're getting this tremendous value for free. This is free coaching. I should probably package this in a different way and sell it for thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars. I bring that up as I've said many, many times before, to encourage you not to be like most people. Most people that get something for free place little to no value on it. There is tremendous value here. I've been thanked so many times over and over and over again for these podcast episodes and what I share and how I've helped make a difference in people's lives and in helping them realize their biggest dreams. So spend some time. That's number three. Spend some time on your personal development, your professional development in study. 20 to 30 minutes minimum of day. Schedule it. You got to get up earlier, do it. Schedule it, make it part of your daily activity for success. Number four, now this depends on the work that you're doing, but if you can engage in different training calls, maybe you're in a business that your company has a regular training call, and maybe they're optional. I know in a lot of human resources department, they have plugged into their human resources software different trainings that you can participate in that are maybe specific to your professional calling, to whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your vocation is. So you always want to participate in focused, laser focused to what your responsibility are. Any training to just always improving yourself. We talk about the law of compensation, and part of that is how difficult, we're compensated according to how difficult it would be to replace us, right? So you want to participate in any and all training calls. And if you can't, if they're recorded, go back and schedule time to listen to them, to take notes, to apply and take action in your life that are specific to you and growing you within your field of that you're participating in. That's your professional calling. And this key. It gives you visibility. It sets you up as a leader. You're seen. You're participating. You're improving you. You're looked up to as a leader. You get to participate and share wins. You get to ask questions. You're just improving you, and you're showing that you're thirsty for more. You're thirsty for improvement. So participate in those training calls that are available to you, no matter what they are. If you're C-suite executive, and yes, I have C-suite executives that I coach and that listen to the show. If you're a CEO, a CFO, a COO, participate in whatever you can. Find others that maybe have achieved a little bit more than you and immerse yourself in those groups. Schedule some time to do that. So you want to listen, you want to participate, and you want to take action on what you learned by participating in all training calls that you can. So you can stay current, you can stay relevant, and you can sort out what works for others. And maybe, hey, maybe you get that little golden nugget that'll work for you in your life. But you're going to be improving you, and you're going to improve your value as well. Number five, you want to cultivate this expectation of leadership. And what I mean by that, you want to energetically move into being a leader. And you might say, well, I'm not in a position that I lead other people. I don't have anybody under me. Well, as we knock out goals in our lives and pursue big dream goals, there may come a time where we are going to have to be a little bit persuasive and have to persuade people to get on board with our ideas, with our dreams. Maybe you want to open up a business someday. Maybe you want to come on board with me and be an entrepreneur in this wonderful field of personal and professional development, whatever it is. How do you lead your life? You lead your life by your consistent daily activities that are focused on productive habits, leading you to the accomplishment of your desired goals, dreams, and aspirations. So you are a leader, whether you have people under you or not. You want to carry yourself and show up as a leader, someone who is successfully leading their lives. I look at Bob over there, and I really like how he's leading his life. He demonstrates that he's professional and he's sincere and he's got compassion and he cares about others. This is all part of it. Because what happens with this? Well, maybe in your professional environment, maybe you are going to attract that promotion you're seeking. Maybe that's your big dream goal, to move to the top of the list, to move into that C-suite I just talked about, right? But you're putting yourself out there. You are moving energetically into it. You are cultivating the expectation of leadership. You are leading your life with excellence, and what you are doing is you are attracting into your field of experience other leaders, other professionals. Maybe you form that mastermind group and you have no idea what can come out of something so powerful as that. And we're going to, as I said in the last episode, we're going to talk about the mastermind in a few upcoming episodes. So we want to stay tuned for that. And number 6, on a daily basis, besides your visualization and your affirmations that you do on a regular basis, you want to practice gratitude. You want to practice past gratitude, present moment gratitude, and future gratitude. Be grateful for what is to come, but state it in the present tense. Be very grateful for what you have right now, and be grateful for what you have experienced, because it is part of the wisdom gained. Everything that you went through, you came through, and you came through wiser. You learned something, no matter what it is. So practice moving into the energy of gratitude every day. And I suggest that you start your day with this. Go to my website, the Genesis Frequency, one of my websites. We also have successocean.com. But go there and just type in gratitude, and you'll find all the episodes that I've done focusing on appreciation and thankfulness and thanksgiving and gratitude. You want to do this every single day. It moves you. If you're tending to get depressed maybe at your workload, or maybe moving into anxiety because you're concerned about the future, gratitude will bring you into the present moment of right here and right now. Gratitude and appreciation is powerful. There is nothing stronger than gratitude in advance for what you want to accomplish and realize in your life. So that's it. Income producing activity, daily visualization, work on personal development, participate in all your company training calls, cultivate an expectation of leadership, and practice gratitude. Didn't think those would take me that long to get through. Reach out to me, Stephen at successocean.com. That's Stephen with a PH. Go to thegenesisfrequency.com or successocean.com, or get right on my calendar, successappointment.com. And let's have a conversation about improvement, about problems, and how I can help you find solutions to the problems when it comes to performance, productivity, priority management, profitability, sales efficiency, all those things. We live in a distracted world. How do we get back to focus? Let's have a conversation. Stephen at successocean.com or successappointment.com for my calendar. But that's going to do it. We're out of time again. It goes by so fast, especially when you're doing what you love. And I love personal, professional, and leadership development. Absolutely. You've been listening to the Genesis Frequency Podcast with yours truly, Dr. Cause and Effect. I am Dr. Stephen J. Kosmyna, and I wish for you an infinitely spectacular day. God bless you.